One of the most common things people ask me about Excel is how do you do VLOOKUP? It's one of these things that people talk about that seems complicated, but once you walk through an example, which I hope to do with you, it becomes simple. Now we're going to use VLOOKUP to look up a country code, these two-letter country codes, for a list of customers. And we're going to return the full name of the country. Now in sheet 2, we have this handy sheet I downloaded from the internet. So you can just Google country code and be able to find this. It's pretty easy. However, the first thing you notice is that this is organized by numeric code. So this is not the way we want the table set up. We actually want to take this country code and look up in this column. So unfortunately, this column, we need this to be in alphabetical order. And we also need it to be the leftmost column. It doesn't have to be the leftmost, but it has to be the leftmost of your selection. So cut that, and let's put that in the first column. So just right click here, cut, and then right click again, and then do insert cut cells. Next, you'll want to sort that first column. Now we're sorted by the country code. Looks like everything's okay. We have a little extra information down here. We can just delete that. And we are ready to type in the VLOOKUP formula. So we'll want to go back to our first sheet, equals VLOOKUP. And our lookup value, open parentheses, and then the first value is the lookup value, is this. And then we'll do comma, and then we'll go to the second sheet, make sure that picks up in your formula. And then we select the table. So left click right here, hold shift, go over to, all we need is the country name. And then while you're still holding shift, also hold control, might be slightly different on Mac, and then hit the down arrow key. And that will bring you to the bottom of the table. That selects the entire table. Now, since on the first sheet, we're gonna drag this formula down, we wanna make sure the table reference stays the same for every row in that formula. Now, we wanna do this, before you hit anything else, you wanna hit F4. And that will add a $sign before the A, the 2, the C, and the 250, as you see in the formula bar right here. And that locks the table for all the rows of the formula in the first sheet. The next thing you'll want to do is hit comma, and then you want to enter the column index number. So right here is 1, A is 1, B is 2, C is the third column. This is the data we actually want. This will be sent back to the formula. So do 3, comma, and then we want to differentiate between true or false here. This is just an argument you enter, and 99% of the time it's false. So just remember VLOOKUP, comma, 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 false, right? It's always false at the end. And this will return an exact match. Now, you may have some problems with this if your data isn't formulated right. Like if B's AD, there might be a space after it. So you want to make sure your data is cleaned. Now you've completed the formula, just hit enter. And it seems to work for the US. Double click the column up there just to fit everything. And then this little green dot right here in the lower right area of the cell, just double click that and it should work. So we'll just do a spot check. Looks like Hong Kong, India, Sweden, SE. Let's just make sure Sweden is SE. I like to do a couple spot checks just to make sure the formula is working. SE, Sweden, checks out. Now let's do the reverse. Let's check if Rwanda will show up when we do RW. RW, Rwanda, looks like it's working. So that's all you need to do a VLOOKUP. hopefully that helps you with your data and analysis in Excel.